The man suddenly grabbed a gun and started shooting at the sofa. However, when he flipped the sofa over, Jack was stunned. Underneath the sofa was a group of moving toy soldiers. The toy soldiers were cleaning up the battlefield and treating the wounded. The uninjured toy soldiers quickly reorganized for another battle. Jack was furious when he saw this. He immediately raised his foot and crushed one of the soldiers. A barrage of firepower rained down on Jack once again. Jack did not back down and pulled out his handgun to fight back. Suddenly, a loud rumbling sound came from under the table. 3 armed helicopters flew toward Jack. They fired several missiles at him in succession. Jack quickly crouched down to avoid the attack. However, one of the helicopters charged directly at him, using its rotor blades as a weapon. Although Jack managed to shoot down one of the helicopters with his handgun, the intense firepower forced him to retreat. Once again, he rushed into the bathroom to take cover. Just as Jack was about to catch his breath, a missile from a helicopter blew the door apart. One helicopter flew straight through the hole and into the bathroom. Seeing this, Jack quickly wrapped it in a towel, threw it to the ground, and stomped on it. Then, he pulled out his handgun and aimed at the other helicopter. Realizing the situation, the second helicopter had no choice but to retreat. Jack looked down and saw that the toy soldiers on the floor were still moving. He quickly grabbed them and threw them into the toilet. To ensure safety, he also tossed a hairdryer in. Only then did the toy helicopters finally stop moving. After resting for a while, Jack noticed an eerie silence outside the bathroom. When he cautiously lifted the towel, he saw that the toy soldiers had already set up a mortar. Jack quickly dodged to the side to escape the bombardment. He climbed out of the window to evade the attacks. However, the helicopter pursued him again. Fortunately, Jack shot it down, finally eliminating the threat. He successfully climbed around the exterior of the building and entered another room. There, he discovered that the toy soldiers were preparing to launch another attack. Thinking fast, he used a rubber duck from the swimming pool to distract them. Then, Jack sneaked behind them and used a fire extinguisher to block their vision. Next, he ignited an aerosol spray with a lighter. In a burst of flames, all the toy soldiers were burned to a crisp. After an intense battle, Jack had finally wiped out all the toy soldiers and tossed them into the trash can. Relieved, he prepared to take a bath in the swimming pool. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his arm.